Born Bert Cooper in Nassau, Bahamas in 1934, the youngest of 8 children, Calvin Lockhart left his family and moved to New York City in his late teens with his life savings in his pocket and a heart full of ambition. He supported himself by working as a taxi driver in the Queensboro while attending the Cooper Union School of Engineering. Juggling his coursework with long hours behind the wheel, he persisted until eventually dropping out after the first year. The storybook version of how he was discovered has achieved legendary status. It is said that by a fluke, he picked up renowned playwright Ketty Frings as one of his passengers. Dazzled by his face of unparalleled handsomeness and a melodic voice that could melt butter, she offered him a spot in her upcoming play, The Cool World. Whether it was through this serendipitous encounter or not, he made his Broadway debut in 1960. Although the play only lasted for 2 performances, it was just enough to put his name on the map. Calvin replaced Billy D. Williams for the duration of the controversial Broadway production A Taste of Honey, mirroring a Navy sailor engaged in a complex interracial relationship with a white woman he gets pregnant out of wedlock. He found fulfillment in stage acting, but was drawn to the global reach of the entertainment industry. Work was sporadic in the United States for black performers during this time, so he moved overseas where his fluency in German, Italian, and French could open up more opportunities. First to Italy, establishing a theater company where he took center stage and directed his own creations. Then to Germany, and finally to England, discovering his niche as a familiar face on British TV series and in quite a few films. In 1968, he landed his first significant cinematic role in the London set motion picture Joanna.
When you address me, you call me sir.
Sir, if you like.
He followed this with Leo the Last as a pimp named Roscoe, and after amassing a range of credits and extensive experience in European film and television, he transitioned to Hollywood. Featured in a lead role in Halls of Anger, he depicted a former basketball star turned vice principal at a predominantly black high school that gets an influx of white students. He must navigate racial tensions and maintain order as they struggle through the challenges of desegregation.
You're gonna have to learn that white ain't right and black ain't right. Only right is right. We've got one chance now to make this place work for all of us, but I can't do it alone.
With a performance nothing short of extraordinary, he illustrated the anguish of a man torn between his desire to do what is right and his innate instinct to safeguard his students. In 1970, he was a smooth-talking preacher con artist in the blaxploitation classic Cotton Comes to Harlem.
I am doing my pulpit at 11 o'clock this morning. If my people were to find out that you had me locked up in this filthy, pissy pigsty, there'd be all hell to pay.
He did such a great job with his character that in 1972, he was tapped for a second film as Frankie Parker, a disc jockey determined to avenge his girlfriend's murder.
You're beautiful, and I'm beautiful. So it's only natural that we would gravitate toward each other.
His charismatic screen presence and boyish good looks elevated Melinda to become one of the most popular blaxploitation movies ever made. He immersed himself in action flicks like Honey Baby and The Baron. Attributing his gift to connect with audiences, he secured parts in the Sidney Poitier-directed comedies Uptown Saturday Night and its sequel, Let's Do It Again, where he brought to life the infamous gangster Biggie Smalls.
Biggie, you out your territory.
Well, we no longer consider this town as out of our territory.
Watch your mouth, son.
Taking delight in his role as a millionaire in the horror film The Beast Must Die is completely understandable. This moment allowed him to break free from the confines of stereotyped or pigeonholed characters, granting him the artistic liberty he had longed for in his calling. It is indisputable that his 1974 appointment as the first black actor-in-residence at the Royal Shakespeare Company in Stratford-upon-Avon was an exceptional achievement. Lockhart's appearances in productions like Antony and Cleopatra and Titus Andronicus at the RSC marked a groundbreaking moment for black entertainers in the United Kingdom. A few years later, he suffered a heart attack upon learning that his son Leslie was critically wounded after inhaling a dangerous combination of angel dust laced with marijuana. While under the influence, Leslie acted on auditory hallucinations that urged him to jump out of a window, resulting in a myriad of fractures in both feet. Witnessing his son's challenging recovery, he recognized how the demands of his acting commitments had prevented him from being present as a father. Burdened by this, he became an advocate against drug addiction and launched a Los Angeles-based campaign called Getting Off Drugs, dedicated to helping teenagers overcome their dependencies. Lockhart's career will forever be closely linked to the blaxploitation film movement, a distinctive genre that featured black actors in key roles at a time when the mainstream world ignored them. Despite possessing ruggedly handsome looks and leading man qualities, he found himself largely typecast as a swindler or gangster, which limited the diversity of roles available to him. He starred in an episode of Good Times as Florida Evans' slick-talking cousin Raymond, a charlatan known for his deceitful nature and professional gambling pursuits.
JJ, I've heard you're quite a man with the ladies.
Obviously, you've been reading the society pages.
No, fishing string.
He was also seen in the crime-fighting drama series Starsky and Hutch, adding further depth and variety to his portfolio. Being part of a short-lived Broadway musical that ran for 21 performances, set in Jamaica, marked a significant milestone for his co-actor Cheryl Lee Ralph, as it was her Broadway debut. In the mid-80s, he was a recurring guest on the primetime soap opera Dynasty for 7 episodes, playing Jonathan Lake, Dominique Devereaux's boyfriend.
I am very busy. Please excuse me.
It was in Paris, Miss Devereaux. I was on the secretary at the embassy there. You know how wonderful Paris can be. Maybe you also know how terribly lonely it can be.
He later delivered supporting contributions to multiple box office hits, such as Eddie Murphy's Coming to America, Wild at Heart, Predator 2, and Twin Peaks. As acting engagements became less frequent, Calvin returned to the Bahamas. After a 15-year absence from the screen, he made his final appearance in an independent film shot in his native land. The movie premiered a year after his demise. On March 29, 2007, he passed away from complications of a stroke at the age of 72, leaving behind masterpieces in both theater and cinema. At the time of his death, he was survived by his 4th wife and several children. Calvin Lockhart's accomplishments are indeed plentiful and far-reaching, spanning many facets of his life and career. He stood as a pioneer for black actors in Hollywood, shattering barriers and leaving a trail for others to follow and succeed. Moreover, he was a passionate advocate in the fight against drug addiction, using his platform to raise awareness and empower those struggling with this disease. A staunch defender of human rights and dignity, his legacy continues to serve as a wellspring of inspiration, motivating others to join the effort to make the world a better place. Thanks for watching.